Well, hello, Merry Holidays. It's another Chubs Gone Wild.
Boy, you can turn it on and off, can't you?
I know. That's what I do. The show must go on.
Okay.
Welcome to Chubs Gone Wild, episode 470, recorded on November 28th, 2022, where it is 61 degrees and partly cloudy outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios. It's 20 days till Hanukkah. 23 till winter solstice, 28 till Christmas, only 28 days till Christmas. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. It's also 29 days till Kwanzaa and just 34 days left in 2022 until 2023 makes its interest and says, I'm going to be better than all the rest. We hope. It's also 337 days till Halloween. Are you planning your costume?
Yeah, I'm going to wear the same thing I wear this year.
Oh my God, that's so good. You should wear the pink this time, though.
The pink underwear?
Yes, pink is
Okay.
cool. Uh, anyway, it is. Oh, also only 3 days until we pick the winner of the holiday package. Yay! And then it will be sent out to the winner before it is announced. So, all right. Hey, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Stas, and from the universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Brothers Natus, Phoenix Dave, Kingsley, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com. Oh, Tom's crying. He's so happy that you all are patrons. See, this is why you do it. Oh, uh-oh. You are offline. Changes made now will not be saved. What is going on? I do not like that. Oh,
Why
hey, I'm back. I'm back online, apparently. Was I gone?
why are my eyes so red? I'm not even high.
Oh, it's because you were just crying over our amazing patrons who
I
were.
am.
Yes, who are there for us. And if you want to be a patron of the show, just go to patreon.com/Matt Burlingame, where you can join us for as little as $1 a month. We were hoping to pick up one more person in November, but it's the 28th, so oh well. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that we don't have some holidays coming up. Well, actually, this is the one, where we talk about this day in history, which was when Ferdinand Magellan done reached the Pacific. After sailing through the dangerous straits below South America, straits are really dangerous, especially these days, that now bear his name, Portuguese or Portuguese, depending. Navigator Ferdinand Magellan enters the Pacific Ocean with 3 ships. No, that's a different story. Okay. Becoming the first European explorer to reach the Pacific from the Atlantic. It's wonderful. I remember I remember reading and studying about that in school, to which now is probably irrelevant in school, but back then it was a big thing. No, nothing. Okay. Let's just
I
take
live
a moment.
there.
You've been there or you lived there?
I lived in Portugal.
Really?
Well, actually, a set of islands off the coast of Portugal, but they were technically part of Portugal. So,
Okay. That's pretty cool. I always wanted to kind of go to Portugal.
yeah, well, believe me, on the island, it's beautiful and
Mhm.
cool. The weather is fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you go into Portugal and Spain, it's hotter than fuck.
Huh.
Yeah, it's the joy of island living.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
It's true. Okay. Let's see. Now just take a quick moment here. Settle down. and breathe. I choose to come to this planet. Oh, wait, no. I chose, pardon me. I chose to come to this planet, and I am delighted to be here. Life is good.
What the fuck does that mean? I chose to come to
We are
this
all
planet.
wonderful, spiritual, or alien, however you choose to believe,
Jesus.
creatures and beings of light who come here to be joyous and be part of this experience here on Earth. And well, there you go. We chose a very awkward time to be here. It is the ascension of Abdullabha, Abdullabaha, which is from the Benai calendar observed on the 253rd day of the year. Sorry, I'm probably saying that horribly wrong. Anyway, it is also Cyber Monday. Have you cybered today?
I haven't bought anything,
Yeah.
but I have been online.
Oh, well, that's good. My
I
mom's
want to know, why do you have so many rape things on your
what?
there's rape things on your page now. It's weird. There's only a couple, but it was just weird,
What are you talking
The
about?
guy covering the other guy's mouth and shoving him up against the wall.
Oh, that's a
Rape
whole nother
things.
podcast. I'm like, what? Chubs Gone Wild doesn't do things like
Well, that's
that.
because we don't have a Chubs Gone Wild page to go and
Well,
look at. So
that's because the other one does. And yeah, that's yeah, you're not talking to me about that one.
okay.
Speaking of, as I was saying though, my mother's TV broke completely, just crapped out. So instead of waiting for Cyber Monday and being like, okay, well, let's see if we can find something acceptable for like $200 or something like that, I took the TV from the front room, which is the kind of messed up one, but I found a really good deal on a Fire Stick and did that, and voila, $35 later, we're back in business.
Oh, if you ever need another TV, we got two of them to get rid of. They're only like 35 inches, but
Oh, I was gonna say, well, that was pretty nice, but if they're only 35 inches, we're size queens in this house.
okay.
Well, we need bigger things to actually see it, but anyway. All right, moving on. But good to know. It's letter writing day. When's the last time you've written a letter?
Um, to someone
Well, yeah, I guess. Like
like
actually handwritten a letter.
like a card.
Okay, that'll work. That'll work.
Oh, that doesn't help either.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I sent an email yesterday.
Oh, well, I think this is
Oh,
handwritten, but
okay.
emails are good.
I haven't handwritten anything in years. My handwriting is terrible.
Yeah, I found that my handwriting has gone super downhill. So yeah.
With my carpal tunnel, um, actually, I don't have carpal tunnel anymore, but it's technically I don't have it, but the crippling in your fingers
Uh-huh.
that remained. So I can't I can't write a whole lot very much without it being very painful. So
Yeah. Well, and we also when we get now that we're typing, we get out of practice with the handwriting and the muscles work differently.
yeah, it's just
Oh.
it's sort of. I remember my the boss at my last place. He came over when I was writing something, and he kept forcing my fingers to go in the correct way, and
Uh-huh.
would continue. It was like I'd continue, and my fingers would go back into the same clawed position that I had them at, and it was like
Weird.
I hope he's not feeling that I'm fucking with him here, but sorry, I'm not perfect like your children.
Right.
And
Do children even learn to write anymore?
Well, no. I mean, they may go through it as a class.
Uh-huh.
It's like typing. They don't take typing classes either.
Right.
Because pretty much if you don't know how to type or use a keyboard by the time you're, because I learned to type in high school. So
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know by ninth grade how to use a keyboard, you are behind.
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't learn how to do it correctly, so I don't use all my fingers.
Oh yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah. Let's see. It is also make your own head day. Oh,
I don't know how you do that.
I
Oh,
don't
is that
know.
like
I
taking a breakfast sandwich and jerking off into it?
uh,
Because that's on your website too. What's that all about?
okay, that wasn't me, and I don't know what you're talking about. And
Of
ew.
course, yeah.
Moving on from ew, uh, yeah, National French Toast Day, and I don't want to hear it. Bread Planet Day. It's also
No, no,
Turkey
no. Wait.
Leftover Day,
Have you
and I
seen the commercial that they have on right now about the guy eating? It's Jack in the Box, and he's eating French toast, and he goes, "This is best French toast I've ever had." And his mother sits there, and goes, "Oh, really?" And I was looking at it. There's only 6 pieces of toast strips, right?
uh-huh,
So that's
uh-huh.
only one toast. That's one piece of toast.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's so much more on the commercial, but if you actually look, it's only one piece of French toast.
Not only that, but if that's the best French toast he's had, his mom's a really bad cook.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have some birthdays that we would like to acknowledge, starting with, oh, Alex. Oh my goodness, Alex. Handsome, handsome Alex. Oh my goodness. Also, Philip, Rob, one of the Robs, and local.
Oh, them.
Oh yeah, well there's Rob 1 and Rob 2. The Robs, unfortunately, I always forget which number is
Are they a
so.
couple?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
See,
gosh, you should see.
I'm thinking of all the Robs that we know that you just go, oh, he's one of the Robs.
No. But their house, they decorate their house so beautifully, and it's just like I'll have to show you a picture later. It's gorgeous. We also have Chris, Frank, Chris. Oh, two Chris's. Oh my. Tim, Gina, that singer Gina Livingston. She's currently over in Germany, I believe. We also have Moses and Kieran and oh, that's interesting. We also got Jeffrey and Noel, Jackie. Oh, Jackie Schultz. She ran the theater that we
I
used.
remember.
Yeah, and Mark and that sexy, sexy Daniel. And of course, Deshaun. Great birthdays. Happy birthday, everybody. We're so glad you were born. Gave us something to talk about. Right. All right. Hey, we do have a little bit of stuff in our feed bag. Gabar says, Happy Thanksgiving. It's pretty cool. Also, Sean says, Happy Thanksgiving, Chubs. That person from the advice column needs to get over themselves and just go to a country buffet or something. I
Exactly.
agree. Yeah. And then we got some Chub hugs. You want to send some Chub hugs out?
Well, this week has just been super sad because we yesterday we celebrated the death of Moscone and Milk, Mayor Moscone and Harvey Milk,
Mm.
uh, their murder,
Mm-hmm.
and this just right after the Club Q murders. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just chub hugs out to all the gay people out there that now have to feel this tension of going out in public and
Right.
having a good time, or being at work or being at a grocery store and
Mm-hmm.
having to feel targeted by evil conservative GOP-ish, whatever they are, people who feel that they need to make some I don't know, some kind of fucking point with this. I don't, I just don't understand their motivation. So
Yeah.
to those people, I send chub hugs out to, because every time this happens, Sean's mother tells us, "Don't go to the bars. They're targeting the bars," and it's, as much as it's irritating, it's also sticks in the back of your head.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Um, and that whole story, that whole Club Q story just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. From the conservative
Oh,
politician grandfather in California who was uh, a January 6th supporter. Then the mother who's been in prison and like I guess had like an arsonist or I don't know something multiple times. The father who did was a wrestler and then did porn, and then uh, when he found out that his son shot up the gay club, said his biggest relief was that his son wasn't gay. And then the son decides that he's uh,
non-binary.
non-binary and wants to be known as they them the whole time. Meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, your grandfather put you up to that probably so that it wouldn't look bad on the GOP. I mean, every time they come out with something new, that story gets weirder and weirder. Like
Well,
just like the way that he had some fit at the airport, and then what was the other thing? The
the
that he was
bomb,
arrested
he
for.
threatening to bomb his blow up his mother with a bomb.
Yeah, like the just it's like this is like the bad end of the Kardashians.
Did you actually hear the father speaking?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw his video.
when well, he was being interviewed, and he goes, "Well, I heard that you know that that he was in trouble, and that he I killed a bunch of people, but I was really just happy he wasn't gay."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, see, you're the reason why people should have to pass a test to have children.
Oh, yeah, I think that's probably a good thing. But yeah, and then his videos of himself taking care of himself, uh yeah, I I was just wow. Hmm. Okay. Weird story.
You've
Weird.
seen his porn,
Yeah.
the father's porn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're just it's just him going online and like jerking off. I mean, it's not anything. Well, I mean, it was big, but it wasn't anything. Anyway, it wasn't anything. Moving on. I want to send chub hugs out to people of Ukraine because we don't want to forget them.
Yeah, which remember, by the way, they have no energy now, so they have no power, they have no gas. It is the average day temperature is in the 30s. So just remember that. Just remember that they're over there freezing to death because they normally would get their oil and their electricity from Russia.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in Europe right now, Eastern Europe, are paying the price because they're not taking Russian power.
Right.
So it's ugly.
Yeah. Thanks, Russia. All right. Let's see. Oh, also, there's just been a lot of people having sick and dying pets and stuff
It's
lately.
that time of year.
So huge chub hugs out to anyone who's dealing with that. All right, Golden Rule Services of Sacramento encourages all LGBTQ and BIPOC individuals to get vaccinated against monkeypox. Believe it or not, it is still out there. Signs of infection include flu-like symptoms, rashes, and sores that can look like pimples or blisters. Learn more at sacgrs.org. All right. And now Tom wants to talk to you about.
Let's see. So this week I was watching Survivor, And they did get rid of the woman with the she had her leg amputated, so she at during the competition she would have sometimes the bouncy kind of thing, the kind of C-shaped thing to walk with, that you see people like runners running with.
Mhm.
And then she also has the regular leg one to well, they voted her out. And I know it seems, bad, but let's face it, if you want to win the game, you don't want to go up against the person who's been doing just as well as you have with one less leg.
Oh yeah,
So
they did that. They had somebody in like season like 3 or 4 or something that had that, and she got really super far.
well, yeah, and so I mean, it's a terrible thing, but it's like anything. Your story can get you that $1 million just as fast as your competing does. So
Yep.
I felt bad for her, but I understood. Let's see. On Mass Singer, we had a double episode last week. It was a horror night, so they brought back Snowfall from the week before, and they brought in two new ones. One guy, one was a man, and he was I don't remember what he's saying, but everyone's like going, I think this is, and they're making some guesses here and there. One person said, well, in the clue package, it showed that they they had to deal with ghosts at some point, and that they're more afraid of ghosts than people know about them, that they're really scared of ghosts. And
Oh,
so everyone's going, it's Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters. And I'm sitting there going, okay, look, what about Ray Parker Jr.? Because he ain't
right.
afraid of no ghosts. And Sean doesn't say anything, and none of the judges say a word, and then it's Ray Parker Jr. And I'm like, thank you. Come on, people, listen to the clues. And then the Scarecrow, she was so we figured it's horror. So it's somebody that has been dealing with horror movies, because it was movies.
Right.
And so it was a woman who does charitable work with animals in Northern California. So I'm like, it's Tippi Hedren. She she and she, the elephant reserve down in Stockton area.
Yeah.
She started that. That's
Hmm.
that's that's been her thing for years. And then I looked up that she's 90 plus years old. So okay, that's not her, but it could be. And Sean's like, how do you know she runs an animal reserve? And I go, everyone knows that. Uh,
Yeah.
and so then it ended up being Linda Blair, who also has an animal reserve somewhere in the area,
Oh.
um, where she goes all around the country and around the world, helping save animals where she
Oh.
can. And then Snowfall remained. She went on to the second night, where it was, we take the three people that are left, and one had to go home. So that Snowfall ended up losing, or being sent home. And when everyone's talking about her, and I'm like going, it's fucking Nikki Glazier. I know the clue package. It's fucking Nikki Glazier. And they're like going, it's Whitney Cummings. And I'm like, it's not fucking Whitney Cummings. And they're going, oh, it's this person. It's this one person. I think Jenny McCarthy said it was Nikki Glazier, and it was
Oh,
Nikki
I
Glazier.
can't stand
And I know, because I've seen her live,
her.
and I don't know why I was saying that over to the camera over here. I don't know. Um, but I've seen her live, and she had the show that was on, I think it was E, and basically half of the clue package dealt with, she had a reality show, and talking about how she always wanted to be a singer. And during the show, she talked about how she always wanted. So it was Nikki Glazier. So I was really, really happy
Uh,
that the
who is Nikki
clues
Glazier?
really paid off for me this time.
Who is she again?
She is a comedian. She does all the roasts. Um,
Hmm.
she, I believe she had a short-lived show on one of the stations. I saw her up in Napa last year in August. So
Okay.
anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Finally finished Sandman. Okay, you could have told me that the 11th episode had really nothing to do with anything. The cat episode,
Oh, I know. They tacked it on. It's an extra little thing.
right? And then they had the one with the woman who was
Mhm.
basically Xanadu, the
Yes.
youngest daughter of Zeus, and and she was the muse for the writer, and it's like at least that worked into something to do with it. But yeah, it was we're just like going, well, what the fuck is this?
I thought it was kind of cool though.
Well, yeah, if that's the setting of the whole show, but I was ready for some sort of lead into what the new season's going to be.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Let's see, 101 Places to Party Before You Die with Adam Pauly and his fat friend. We finished up that episode, all the episodes. This is on HBO Max. Really funny show. They ended up in Maui, and we're just like, okay, I know where that bar is. I know where that bar is. That is like 3 blocks from our resort, and so we saw a couple new places to visit while we're there, but pretty much everywhere they went we hadn't been to before, so that was kind of exciting. Kind of give us because I figured they go to Down the Hatch because that's like a really fun bar, but maybe not fun enough for him. So anyway, that's over with. We're watching The Big Brunch also on HBO Max with Dan Levy, and
Oh,
it's basically the think of it as the British Bake Off, but American, and they're eating brunch. So and but they're cooking brunch food, and it's actually a really good show. But the weird thing about it is that they um it's it doesn't feel like brunch food. What I consider brunch food. This is like elevated brunch food. To me, if there's not eggs Benedict and hash browns and pancakes and stuff like that, what the fuck? Um,
yeah.
so, but it's good. It's good. Oh, and I did see the finish the Jack Osborne Haunted Homecoming.
Oh,
This is where he goes back to England, goes back to the house that he grew up in, and they kind of investigate that, and then they go to some other haunts, ho ho ho, that he went to while he was a kid, and find out what their haunting aspect was as well. So it was only 3 episodes. I don't think it panned out to what they thought it would.
mm,
It felt like Jack wants to go back and hang out at the old place and visit England for free. That's it. Just
yeah.
there wasn't enough to validate. It's like when Adam Adam Sandler and Mike White take all their friends on vacation and call it a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I get
yeah,
you.
so it's kind of irritating. Let's see, Jinx Monsoon, who I saw stand up just back in October. Um, she is heading for Broadway, where she will be taking over the role of Mama from Chicago. You
Wow.
if you're good to Mama, Mama would be good to you. So
Uh-huh.
she's got a whole song, which is great. It's the character that Queen Latifah got an Oscar nomination for, and she'll be there for 6 weeks, or it's either 6 or 8 weeks, starting January 16th, and she becomes the first professional drag queen to ever star or ever be featured in a Tony Award winning musical.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
so
think I know the person she's taking over for, who is a friend of Nephi's and is going on to playing Ursula in the tour of Little Mermaid.
uh let's see, Pitch Perfect, the new Pitch Perfect show that's on
Hmm.
uh, Peacock.
Yeah.
Stars Adam Devine and Sarah Hyland.
Okay.
If you remember, both Adam and Sarah played the new Manny and on A Modern Family, and she played the oldest daughter to Phil and Claire. So, and they actually dated on the show. So, I mean, I don't think they dated in real life, but they dated in the show, the context of the show. So now they're on Pitch Perfect. It looks like it's only 6 episodes, unless they bring in like another 6 or another couple. It seems light, but that's where, everyone wants to go these days. Do as
Right.
little fucking possible. But it's a pretty cute show. The storyline is that Adam Devine's character from Pitch Perfect is still, he's in his mid-30s now, and he is still trying to do a cappella on TikTok and wherever he can do it online. And so, one of his TikTok things goes viral in Germany, where he gets 4 million views, and the German guy from Pitch Perfect 2,
Uh-huh.
he calls him up and goes, "Oh, you've got to come here." I'm doing an accent. "You got to come here. You're big in Germany. This won't last long. If you get here, we're going to put you in all the festivals and see if we can't, give you some fame here in Germany." So he
Cool.
shows up there only to find out that the guy's really not like success. The German guy's not successful, but he
Mhm.
wants to get successful by using him to make him successful. So it's everyone's trying to win. And Sarah Hyland is a friend of the German guy. She was an Air Force brat that just stayed in Germany after all the traveling with the parents.
Hmm.
So it's a cute show. The music's good. Um, and it looks like it was filmed there, so that's always nice too. So uh, We're Here, which is the HBO Max series with the 3 drag queens that go into towns who don't like drag queens.
Oh, right.
And this the first episode was a rough one because they're showing the chatter on Facebook, where everyone's saying things like, "Oh, I hear they're going to take over our parade." I'm not sure if it was 4th of July or whatever the parade was. They're coming in. They're going to take over the parade. They're reading to kids, uh, you know, trying to groom all of our children and it's just so it was really uncomfortable. Back to my chub hugs. This
Yeah.
kind of shit that goes on in big cities, it's even worse in smaller ones. So they're in Granbury, Texas, and it's a really good show. It's just a really good show, really positive show for the LGBT
Now, is this season
community.
two?
What?
Is this season two?
This season 3,
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm really
right?
behind on that
And,
then.
and so and I it's so weird because right after Club Q, I said to Sean, if the We're Here people aren't gathering up all their shit and going to make a fundraiser in Colorado Springs at Club Q, they're missing their Q.
Yeah. No, that's
So
good. Just real quick on the Club Q thing. We have a friend who who has family in Colorado and always says that Denver is like, really queer friendly, but that Colorado Springs is really conservative, like fucked up kind of hick town. So uh he wasn't surprised something like this happened, but
yeah.
doesn't help.
Okay, so we also started Wednesday, which
Oh
is
yeah.
Tim Burton take on Addams Family. We're in a couple episodes and it's enjoyable. I'm so used to Christine Ritchie's
Uh-huh.
Wednesday, so the new girl, it's kind of close, but the uh the it's not a comedy the way Addams Family Values was.
Right.
It's a little more of a drama, and but Christina Ricci also, she is one of the people in the show. She
Hmm.
plays one of the teachers, and the basis of the story is that after Wednesday tried to kill some kids um, who beat up and humiliated Pugsley, she it turns out the boys were from the polo team, and she dropped 2 bags of piranha into the pool while they were rehearsing, practicing, whatever they did. So that was very funny. But she ends up in like a what I call La Entrada, which is Sacramento's school for bad kids. Well, the school the kids went who didn't graduate in the 4 years, or they were troubled kids, or they're like kids who had legal problems.
They
You
went
know,
to Hogwarts.
yes. So so she ends up at that place, and so there's like vampires and there's werewolves and there's sirens and the whole thing, so it
Hmm.
looks like it'll be fun. There's mermaids. Also, let's see, last week we saw that Irene Cara died
Oh, yeah.
at 63 years old. You will remember
So
her from singing Fame and What a Feeling, the Flashdance song, but she also starred in Fame, uh,
yes.
and she was Coco.
Mhm.
And so now her and Leroy are both gone now from the show.
Right.
But yeah, I actually had read an article that all the cast had gotten together, but Coco and Leroy, but everybody, all the main cast members had gotten together at one point, and it's too bad she wasn't able to make it before her death.
Yeah.
Um, they have not said what she died of, but she did move to Florida, so she obviously knew something was happening.
Mm.
So, then finally we saw Spirited on Apple TV. That's the new um, Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell, and not Olympia Dukakis. It's Olivia and
Olivia de Havilland.
the woman who gave the shit pie in The Help,
Oh, Octavia Spencer.
Octavia Spencer. I never can remember her name.
Yeah.
And it's a musical based on Scrooge, but it's been really reworked as Scrooge. I mean, we know it's the Christmas Carol storyline,
Mhm.
but what happens is every year the Marley Company, um, the dead Marley Company, they get together and they find one person in the world that needs to have the Scrooge thing happen to them. They need the ghost coming and to change them, and they always want to find people who are high enough to make a difference in the world.
Yeah.
And so they find Ryan Reynolds, who is um, he's a Christmas tree. How can I put this? He goes to this one event where he's the speaker, and he goes, I know you're thinking, you guys sell Christmas trees. What do you need help with? I'll tell you what you need help with. Right now, the artificial Christmas tree corporations of the world are making you guys look like the bad guys. And he gives this whole spiel where they're like, yes, yes, we need you, because you're cutting down trees in a world that doesn't want to cut down trees anymore. But all the trees that you cut down, you've all sourced them out. You replanted for all. It's you guys are the perfect example of how things are supposed to work in the world, but they make you look like the bad guys. So you need me to make artificial trees go away and real trees come back into style. And so they're like, yes, yes, yes. And Will Ferrell, who plays the Ghost of Christmas present, goes, this is our guy. This is the guy who can change everything for us. If we can change him, he can change things. And so it's a cute show, and there's some twists and turns. You find out different things about the different characters. But the interesting thing, and I'm calling this the Paint Your Wagon of this generation, and that's because Paint Your Wagon starred Lee Marvin, Clint Eastwood, and Lee Remick. And the one thing that all three of those had in common, besides being movie stars, was that they were not known as singers.
Right.
And so you had like some really good singers in Paint Your Wagon and really good dancers in Paint Your Wagon, but it
Yeah.
wasn't the three leads.
No.
And it wasn't that it was awful, but
Right.
it was that, when you go to a musical, you want to hear Hugh Jackman, and you want to hear, you know
Judy.
beautiful voices, and
Hmm.
not, Will Ferrell scratching out a song, and Ryan Reynolds tap dancing. So now they all do great jobs. I mean, they do
Yeah.
really not great jobs. Well, they do great jobs with what they got. You know,
Right.
but I would have thought that, I mean, Ryan Reynolds is best friends with Hugh Jackman, so he couldn't he have worked something out? I don't know, but it's a really fun show. The music's great, the singing's fine,
Mhm.
but it's good. It's good. I mean, I would suggest it to everybody,
Cool.
except maybe music teachers. Maybe they would.
Eh.
But other than that, I think that may just be it for me, except for, well, there is Bachelor in Paradise,
Right.
which we both have been watching, and
Uh,
so
yeah. Let's
this time
talk.
it was the last two episodes. The
Mhm.
first episode was the final rose, and this is where, um, if they said, okay, we are closing Paradise Beach. So if you get a rose, you stay, and then we'll move towards possible engagement. If you don't get a rose, you're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So first one up was Logan, and um, that mean woman from Australia uh, didn't give him a rose, and basically said, you know, I need a man, not somebody who makes a living walking dogs and cleaning pools.
Yeah.
Uh, and he's like, well, I've lived for 4 or 5 years now in Los Angeles, walking dogs and cleaning pools, trying to get some kind of career off the ground. So I'm pretty proud of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and they're all like, yeah, but we want money. We want to be
Well,
taken
and
care of.
that's the thing with her is that yeah, she wanted that money. She wants somebody to take care of her. And I'm not gonna fault her for that, but she's such a digger about it. Um, I actually had after that whole thing where she said that to him and his response, and then then somebody else said something to him later that was just like total bitch move, and he was all like he actually stood up for himself
Yeah, I
and
was.
did it pretty well. I was actually more impressed with him on the after show than I was at any other point in because I was not impressed with him at all and his little open mouth weirdness.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
right
kudos
after,
to him for that.
yeah, right after both, because she didn't give him the rose, so she had to leave too. So both of
Which
them,
was
both,
fine.
both of them are out. Then they both twins got sent home, so they're going to go back and live in their
Surprise.
mom's basement. So and I was telling Brian this. I go, and he's like, well, blah blah blah. And I go, no, okay, they're on a dating show that's
Uh,
meant to these dating shows are meant to move towards engagement and marriage.
right.
Okay, if you live at home with your mom and don't have a job, and you're living on somebody's couch and walking dogs, what are you doing on a dating show where people are looking for someone to marry?
Well, you know, if there's a connection there,
No, no, I'm
it's
sorry.
about relationships. These women came on there looking for a man to take care of them,
Right.
or at least a man to, you know, provide them with a certain lifestyle because it looked like all of those women and actually most of the guys, well, actually, yeah, the guys too, they all come from this kind of middle to upper middle class life. And, and so they look down on Dingbat there for walking dogs and doing everything, but he's there to get his dream. But remember when we saw his family on Bachelorette, it had a huge house and were well to do, and he came from this upbringing. So I
Right.
mean, they're all a bunch of well off, spoiled
I don't know that they're spoiled. I just think, I mean, my point is that you know what these women are looking for.
Mhm.
And the men not so much. See, that's the difference.
Yeah,
Men, well, like on The Bachelor, the Bachelor is looking for a wife. I mean,
right.
he's already at that point. But on The Bachelorette, most of those guys were looking for a good time
Hmm.
and exposure. You can
Right,
tell who's there for the girl to find a wife and who's there to find opportunity.
right. And unfortunately, they get there and they find a bunch of tears and crying and drama and craziness.
I did enjoy when Genevieve and what was his name? Um, the guy with Genevieve.
I'm trying to remember. They were the last couple, right?
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh,
Genevieve is
Johnny?
no, 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 no. Genevieve, the one with the
Uh,
nasally voice who kept trying to
yeah.
leave every time, and it's like, no, and he goes, well, look, I'm not taking your rose, and I'll tell you why. Because every time we have a fight, you
Oh,
run, you run to
those
the
two.
car, and you want to leave. and
Yeah.
and he goes, and don't think that that's not going to change when if we ever got into a real relationship and got married. Every time something didn't go your way, you would be in the car and running away from the situation. So
Aaron.
yeah. And then I love the fact that one of the girls goes in and goes, well, did you defend yourself? And she goes, well, he was just accusing me. He's accusing me of everything. She goes, well, you should really give yourself the opportunity to at least tell your side of the story. You're right. And she goes back there and goes, you can't blame all this on me. And he goes, I didn't blame it all on you. She goes, yes, you did. You said it was all my fault, that everything that went wrong was me. And he goes, no, what I said was that every time something happened that you weren't happy with, you ran away. Well,
Hmm.
that's about me. And he goes, exactly. And that's the problem. It always had to be about you. And if it wasn't about you, then you were feeling shortchanged. So fuck you, go home. I
Yeah,
don't want.
that was the most pitiful. I'm going back to tell him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, why did they even leave that in the show? It was so
Oh my
stupid.
God. That's the only reason I was happy I stayed watching the show.
And his name was Aaron, and
Aaron.
I
That's right.
could not stand Aaron at any point.
Well, the two of them, they were just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, Michael and his lady, they ended up, they're not going to get engaged, but they're not leaving
Hmm.
alone. They're leaving together. So they left together. They went home. So we ended up having Johnny and Victoria and Sharon and Brandon, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, Sharon, Johnny and Victoria, they get engaged, but they get them on the live show,
Hmm.
and uh, and Jesse goes, he's talking to Johnny, and he goes, but you and Victoria aren't together anymore. No, no, she decided to be a whore and cheat on me before she even had the chance to tell me that we were broken up. She's already out dating another guy,
Now,
and
see, yeah,
and he's like, wait, wait, before we go too
okay,
far, let's bring Victoria in and hear her side of the story before we start, you know, throwing out assumptions of what happened. And
right.
so they bring her in, and she's a whore. She's a
I don't
whore.
think she was. I believe her
Oh God.
that they didn't actually sleep together until after John, because Johnny, they were, oops, okay, everything's working. They started to go into Johnny freaking out again. And I believe that he probably freaked out and had a whole bunch of shit laid down, and they tried to work through, and it wasn't happening. And I think Genevieve knew that.
It wasn't
Or
Genevieve, it was
not Genevieve,
Victoria.
whatever her name, they're all the same. But I know that sounds horrible, but honestly, on these shows, I can't keep half of them straight.
Oh, well,
Uh,
just go online and look at see what Victoria's flaunting this now. She's flaunting the
well, she
relationship
has
with
a decent guy who
Greg.
actually, isn't Mr. Drama Pants.
Oh
And
no.
Johnny is just, he was always a dick. He was a dick on the other show. He was a dick on this show. The only time that he wasn't was when he actually stayed true to her.
And who was
So
his
I don't know,
best
but I
friend?
think he's got issues.
Who's his best friend? Tyler.
Oh, I don't think that's a best friend. I think Tyler wants him. I think Tyler has some bias tendencies, and he was all up on Johnny, like, "Oh, Johnny, oh, it's not your fault, and you were so good, and you didn't say things that you could have. You're the most amazing man in the whole world.
Listen to
Kiss
yourself.
me." I'm sorry, that whole thing was either staged and staged badly, or Tyler was all like, "You're my bestie, I love you." Um,
Well, okay,
and
and
then
then
the final
finally,
two that actually made it and got together, I was happy for them, but they were so boring. They were boring through the show. They were boring at the end. And but it,
honestly, I didn't even remember who she was.
right? But I'm happy that they found actual happiness through this. And Michael and his woman too, I was really happy for them.
Oh yeah, and
Not
he said
because
I
of all
love you
their
for
little
the first time on the
storyline.
show, which was
Yeah.
sweet.
Well, their storyline was awesome, and yes, they did the love thing, but I just liked them. I think they worked well. So good for
And
them.
also, I just a side note
Yeah.
that on Dancing with the Stars, Gabby, who was the Bachelorette from last season,
Yeah.
she did come in second.
She came in second. I was starting to watch it and I watched the first two episodes mainly because Daniel Durant was on, but I had to keep hitting that fast forward button to the performances and then to the numbers. And they're fucking 2 hours long. I don't have the patience to sit through that.
Right.
Anyway,
At least it's on Disney Plus, so there's no commercials.
exactly. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Is
that's
that
it
the
for,
only?
yeah,
Okay.
that's the only
Well,
thing I got right now. You-
okay. Well, I'll jump into my week then. So I started with this weekend. I got together with game night with we Clint and the boys, and we played Harry Potter Clue.
Oh, how much fun for you guys.
Well, I was kind of thinking the same thing. I'm like, this is going to be another one of those where we get a game and we sit there and play it for an hour trying to figure it out, and then we're like, why did we do this? It was actually fun. It took a little bit to kind of figure it out because the board has the spinners and the dark mark, and it has this extra stuff. It's not just your basic clue game. But once we kind of figured it out, it was actually really fun, and I would play that again. Um, yeah, so there's that. Then I did watch a number of things, including Welcome to Chippendales on Hulu. Have you seen that? No,
No.
obviously you would have talked about it. So I watched the first episode and a half. It's actually fun. It's a little reminiscent of Minx. Um, there is some gratuitous nudity and just some fun times, but it's an interesting little show. But it's also got some kind of crazy violence stuff going on in it. So just beware.
And it is based on a true story.
Yeah, yeah. But it's definitely one that I'll keep watching. Wednesday, I watched Wednesday. I finished it last night. Uh, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. There's things in it that was kind of like the standard kind of cliche writing for, you know, uh, different girl goes to school that's somewhat Hogwarts oriented, and there's all the classes of different things, and people want to like her, and so it had some cliche in it, but for the most part, I think they did a really good job. It was really fun, and yeah, Tom's acting like a horse in a stall. Um, and so I won't say anything more for spoiler sake, but uh, I think you'll really enjoy it. Um, I watched episode 1 of season 6 of Elite. I, yeah, whatever. Rich, pretty people, 16 years old, out all night, drinking drugs like crazy, sex everywhere. Everybody's fucking everybody. Okay, I guess it's a European thing. The Office Party. We also, when we were after the Clue game, we watched The Office Party, the unrated version with Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston. I guess this was like 2016. Have you seen it?
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah. It was really fun. I had never seen it. It was great. It was actually, we were busting up laughing at it. So if you do see it, see the unrated version because I think there's going to be a lot more craziness for you. Netflix, I watched The Claus Family 2. Last year they had The Claus Family where this young kid, about 14, 15, their dad died and he's all lost, and then he visits his grandfather's shop and then finds out that the Santa Claus is a family legacy and that he'll be the next one because since his father died, his grandpa had to take back up the Santa role. Well, this is number 2, and very interesting that the first one was just your just it's Belgian, was just as white as could be. But this one, there's a black family in it. There's a gay couple in it. It's all of a sudden very diversified, and sadly, the story just was not as good as the first one. So very sad about that. Watched Catering Christmas on Hulu. It's a very cute Christmas love story where a young woman caterer gets hired for a rich society party, the party of the year, with a very hard to please woman. And it's the party of the year. They raise so many tens of thousands of dollars. There's only 25 people that come to it. I mean, serious, seriously, and they have to like find all these silent auctions and all this. Like they're planning a party for hundreds of people, and it's like 25 people. Um, and then of course she falls for the organizer's nephew. Who, yeah, The Holiday Fix Up on Hulu, which is a Lifetime movie, and she's a TV show renovator who goes home to help an old friend who had a tree fall right through the inn. And they only have 10 days before the big annual holiday festival. What to do? Anyway, the whole town, all 20, come to this festival. Again, there's like 25 people in someone's backyard, and she had to work alongside her ex. Oh, and this also had, that Maria Menounos, you know who she is? She's the movie lady when you go see previews, and she's
Yes, yeah.
always asking the trivia questions and stuff. Anyway, she's actually in this movie, um, and she actually didn't do too bad, but yeah, at least yeah, seeing her somewhere besides annoying us. I also watched the Noel Diary. It's probably the Noel Diary, but whatever. In this one, a famous writer who, by the way, is sexy as fuck, returns home to clean out his mother's house and finds a diary that helps a black woman looking for her birth mother, who used to be the family nanny. That's the basic storyline. And the thing that got me about this, though, oh, by the way, it was good. It was actually really, really good, full of tropes, just good, 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 good. But the thing that got me was the stereotypes that these movies push about book authors. He's super rich, multiple sequels, all number 1 on the bestseller list, translated into 30 languages, and his face and the latest book are on buses going by in small towns, and everywhere he goes, he runs across people that have all read his books. Well, except for the love interest, of course. She doesn't know who he is. But I don't know. I've never, what author, maybe Stephen King, would have something like that? Who the fuck else? No, nothing. Okay. So, next up, we got one more here. Falling for Christmas. Now you know which one this is, right? This is the
Yes.
Netflix one with Lindsay Lohan and Blonde Sam from Glee. And the gist is, oh, by the way, and two of the cast members in here were in the one just before it that I just watched. One was actually the lead, I think. Um, Anyway, so Lindsay loses her memory after she falls down a hill after her bisexual fiance proposes to her, then navigates through a very racially diverse cast, only to find the only cute straight white guy whose half Hispanic daughter makes a selfless Christmas gift wish for her dad to find happiness after her mother died. Follow along. And that ends up saving the inn, mostly because the whole town comes out to donate to Sam, who is there for everyone but himself. It was corny and cliche.
But there
And
were only 25 people, right?
actually, in the entire town that turned out, yes, there were only about
His name is
25 people.
Chad Overstreet Swanner. That's a hyphen.
Hey, if you want that, you go for it. I mean, I think he's adorable, and he's got all that scruff now, and he's chunked up a little bit. He's cute. Um, but I liked it. I thought they did good. I thought Lindsay was good. Um, yeah. So just fun, silly holiday movies. But I love all the diversity that they're throwing in it. But more and more, we joke about the check boxes that you have to check to be on it, like a Netflix show. And these holiday movies this year are like just doing that, like to the point where it's almost like hitting you in the face. So,
I'd like to.
oh, that's very sweet. Shall we talk about your violent tendencies, or shall we continue?
No, it's just you're watching all this garbage. What I watched, listen, this is what I watched. This is the
Oh yes.
difference here.
Yes, let's
Okay.
let's hear about your
I
garbage.
watched let's see, Addams Family Values, Charlie
Uh-huh.
Brown Christmas, Grinch That
Uh-huh.
Stole Christmas, The Little Drummer Boy,
Hmm.
Rudolph,
I hate
and the
that one.
three different prep and landings.
Uh-huh.
So, and you watched Falling for Christmas.
Yes, I
Big
did.
difference, big difference.
Well, I save the good stuff for toward the holiday when I'm more into
Okay,
it.
Brian,
This stuff is the stuff that gets you primed up to watch the good stuff, because
it gets
by
me
the time
primed
you
up
get
to
to the
not want
good
to
stuff,
watch
you're
television.
thinking, "Oh my God, this is so good." I feel so into it.
Oh God, I thought I knew you. Okay. Well, maybe you were thinking about that while you were playing Clue over there with your friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. We were over there playing Clue and just laughing, and it was just wonderful. All right.
You're just too much.
Well, finish. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying you're just too much.
Oh, I've been told that by many men. Make your holiday too much this year by using the code FMWildChub by taking 20% off anything you purchase over at fatmarkerclothing.com. It's time for some advice. I got some advice.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, this one comes from Dear Prudie. And I am a woman in my 40s, and as a child, I was a victim of sexual abuse. As a teen and adult, I have never had an interest in pursuing any kind of romantic relationship as a result. To the disappointment of several romantic prospects, as well as a protracted sexual harassment from some of my teenage peers at the time. As I am now in my 40s, people look askance when I say I've never been in a relationship. How do I navigate these kinds of questions in a way where I don't have to go into my history, but also can express that I'm still not interested in relationships. So well-meaning people don't try to set me up with dates or tell me that I just haven't found the right person yet. Tell
Um,
them you're not interested and it's none of their damn business.
yeah, you're not. I mean, if they pursue it, just go. I'm not one of those people that needs to have a companion to. I mean, I would turn it around on them, like, oh well. I just tell them I'm not one of those people that need to have some man tell me what I need in my life. I'm more of my own person, and usually that scares them off, especially in the days of HR. All you have to do is go, I keep getting harassed by these men who want to know why I'm not dating somebody. And then they'll be like, we'll handle it from here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I just turn them over to HR.
Hmm. But you are someone who needs someone to tell you what to do. That's what apparently they're saying to her.
Well, yeah, I know
Yeah.
that's what they're saying to her.
No, I just like whatever. I've never been in a long-term relationship and I'm real happy. Don't think I necessarily need one. So yeah, fuck off. Anyway, uh,
Wow.
I guess you can't tell them to fuck off if they're at work, but
But you
you
can
do it
just say,
politely.
look, if you continue to do this, I'm going to be talking to HR. And
Yeah,
believe me, this scares people off nowadays.
right.
It's gross, but this is what people are doing.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see what Dear Prudie had to say. I can't remember where I heard it, but some women, when asked when they weren't partnered, I think why, say, I don't know, I guess I just got lucky. I think that would be a hilarious way to throw people off with a nod to the fact that many people in gestures around at this entire column relationships are absolutely miserable. And partnership alone is not something to strive for. You could follow it up with, seriously, thanks for your concern, but I'm not interested. I still say that, HR or fuck off are better answers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, still. Uh, okay. Hey, Chubs, Timothy asks, do you collect anything that some might consider a waste of money?
Well, yeah, yeah. That's what collections are.
Yeah.
I've got a collection. Well, I don't count the collections of the stuff that I got from my mom when she died.
Hmm.
Like Hummels, because I have not extended the collection. I've
Hmm.
just retained it. But I collect I don't anymore because I don't have room, but I um Tiffany lamps.
Hmm.
And these are replicas, of course, because I'm not going to buy a lamp that's $15,000, but gorgeous all the same. And
Mhm, they are.
but I don't collect. I don't really collect much anymore because I saw something at one point, and this is terrible. I'll just let you know this is terrible. But I saw a show, or I don't know what it was, but basically that the person had died and all the stuff that they held dear was thrown into the garbage. So it's like, why extend a collection when Sean's not going to take it, and he's just going to, what he can't sell, he'll throw in the garbage. So I don't collect anything anymore because I feel that it's just too sad.
Yeah, I actually really understand that. And as I've gotten older and looked around at my things and just imagine that when I'm gone, most of them will just be tossed or given, to somebody who might want them or hopefully sold and get somebody some money. Uh, yeah, it's kind of limited my like desire to collect more things. The only things that I really do collect are Santas, especially uh, kind of Father Christmassy Santas, or like this guy who's my new Santa this year. He's very cool. Um, so Santas and clocks. Well, roosters. A lot of people give me roosters, um, little collectible roosters and stuff. But other than that, I don't really collect much of anything. I just kind of do what I need. All right. Hey, Chubs. Timothy asks, from your spouse. Yeah, right. Do you prefer gifts that you say you want ahead of time, or do you like them to surprise you?
ahead of time.
Yeah, really?
Yes, because nothing's worse than being disappointed by another horrible gift. When it's because what happens is, either people aren't thinking, or they're only thinking of themselves. Because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten just terrible gifts, and this isn't particularly from Sean. Terrible gifts, because they had nothing to do with me. It was nothing I wanted. It was something either they wanted, or they just ran out of time and bought anything.
Hmm.
And you can tell when it's something, just like, I mean, like one time I got, um honestly, I can't even tell you what it was.
Okay.
um I was told it was an incense holder, but I think it used to have something that sat on top of it, and it was the base that held the thing together.
Oh, okay.
But there wasn't anything else. It was just this thing that looked like an ashtray with some little divots in it, and a little like maraca thing that looked like it was Indian. And I, believe me, if I could, I would have. I mean, what I should have done was just picked it up and thrown it in the garbage right in front of them. This is horrible. If you can't think of a decent gift, or something that's at least something I would be interested in, and like, don't buy me anything.
No.
So that's kind of why I now am at the point where I don't buy Christmas gifts for anybody, and I ask they don't buy Christmas gifts for me, because I'm usually disappointed. Moose P, well, he's different, but
Oh,
other
yeah.
than that, it's just, I find that it's yeah. I know I sound horrible, but how many times has somebody told you, "Oh, I have got the best gift for you.
Hmm.
You are not going to believe what a fabulous gift I have for you." And then you open it and go, "Who's this gift for?" Because it's obviously not for me.
Oh,
And I know that sounds horrible, but there's nothing worse than you go out and you spend hundreds of dollars on gifts for people, and then you get back something, you get back nothing, basically. I know. I'm not quite Scrooge, but I am horrible.
it's all in perspective. I try to do the somebody thought of you thing. So that's
A lot of you, no, felt they had to get something for you,
right. Yeah.
because if
Uh,
not, it was going to be worse. But ultimately, it's worse that they got you crap.
well, I guess at this point I kind of do prefer the wish list thing because you put on the Amazon wish list things that you would enjoy and use. So I mean that's a good resource. But I have to say that I am someone who honestly would love to have the people that are close to me that give me beautiful gifts to really surprise me with something I would never think of that's totally me, that's totally amazing. And I've had a few of those. Uh, Moose P for my birthday got me a shirt that of Bewitched that was Endora on one side and well,
Samantha.
Elizabeth, yeah, Samantha on the other side. Never saw it coming, never expected it, and it was absolutely perfect. Last year, I had a young man who gave me a um, an advent calendar. That would be you.
It was your birthday.
but it was a Christmas
Sure.
advent calendar, and it was so me, so thoughtful, so beautiful, and I have it out already this year. There's nothing in it yet, but
Yeah,
it is
I was almost ready to get you candy to for your birthday to go in the advent calendar, but
yeah,
then I thought, okay, no, I'm not going to be the guy who gives the diabetic
uh,
candy. I'll let him make his own decisions. I
yeah.
don't want to be the one blamed for that because Brian would have ate that up.
Oh, he
Oh,
would love
nicely done. Let's give candy to the diabetic.
so many do. Hmm.
Yeah. But
Oh, like
but
this.
yeah, I would no honestly, I that's what we all long for is that people give us the gifts we didn't even know we wanted, but when we get it, it's just spectacular. It's just like, the church bells ring and it starts to snow and Lindsay Lohan kisses Chad and we're all happy and
Yeah.
love is in the air. And normally it's like what movie was that? What is that? Oh, when Divine opens up her shoe and they're sensible shoes instead of her cha-cha heels. I
Yeah.
talk into Divine and I don't want to be that person. So I just say, no, I'm fine. Don't give me any gifts. I'm just happy that we're all friends and we all love each other and the holidays are here and I can, watch Little Drummer Boy.
Ugh, that one. All right. Well, thank you so much, Timothy, for your for
Yeah,
your questions. I know we have some more from him coming up next episode. All right. Hey, what's in your lunchbox? Well, Mr. Moose P wrote in and said, while buying a few items at Publix or Vaughn's East, this morning for Thanksgiving, picked up a pie in the bakery, and this little piece of carrot cake jumped into the cart yelling, "Eat me." So who am I to say no? Served with a cup of coffee. That was a beautiful little cake.
yeah,
Oh, uh, uh, I'll tell you. Well, okay. So since some of this, you know that one of the things I wanted for my birthday was a witch cake,
right,
and
right.
I certainly did not get that. Well, so on Thanksgiving, my friend Heather comes to Thanksgiving, shows up with a cake in her hand, and she's walking at the bathroom. I'm like, okay, two pies. I made a cake. She brought a cake. We're gonna have lots of cake, lots of pie. And on the top of it, she had taken some icing and drawn a witch symbol so that I could have my witch cake for my birthday that I didn't get. See, that's
How thoughtful.
that's somebody that's very thoughtful. It was
Thank
great.
you. Yes, exactly. That is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay, next up, Mr. Moose said had friends over for Thanksgiving. Not in the picture were biscuits and butter. Oh, I love good biscuits, especially homemade. They were on the table.
They're
Appetizers.
back there on the stove too. You can see them right there.
Oh yeah. Appetizers of puff pastry with cheese and a touch of something sweet. Filling varied cheese and crackers, meats, ham and turkey, gravy, vegetables, mashed potatoes, mashed cauliflower, green beans, Brussels sprouts, cream style corn, fried apples, sausage stuffing, asparagus, and dessert was key lime pie and pumpkin pie with butter pecan ice cream or vanilla ice cream. Guest choice. Hope your holiday was wonderful. Thank you. And those little puff pastries, I really want to try some of those. I freaking love little puff pastries when uh, like that. You just pop them right in your mouth. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Moose. And also, Phoenix Dave wrote in and said, hubby and I ate Thanksgiving lunch together at Volcano Restaurant Buffet. We started with miso soup, not pictured. I ordered red snapper teriyaki, not pictured. I'm old and I forgot. Scott ordered hibachi vegetables and mushrooms tempura. Then we ordered sushi, California roll, chicken tempura roll, and salmon avocado roll. Wow, that's really cool. I want the rolls. I
Well,
want sushi now.
now I'll tell you the mushroom tempura.
Uh-huh.
If it's the kind that they have at well, it may be just mushroom tempura, but at Makuni's they have where they've taken the mushroom, they've taken out the stem, and they've added in crab meat and jalapeno, and
Oh,
then they deep fry the whole thing. So it's when you bite into it, it's just delightful. We usually have them cut it in half. So
mhm.
because um, on the big ones, when you bite into them, they're so full of mushroom juice
Uh-huh.
that it's like hot, flaming,
Yeah,
lava coming out of it. But it's so yummy. They're so good. So
that
yeah,
sounds.
I'm really hungry. And I'm not a big just vegetable fan, but boy, that looks good.
I know. That is just beautiful. Um, Actually, you know what I've been craving lately is really good jalapeno poppers. See, when I was younger, I didn't like the heat from them, but now I do. And Michael Sage was saying the other day that he was having some, but the jalapeno didn't have any bite to it.
Yeah.
And so ever since he said that, I've been wanting really good deep fried poppers.
Well, the thing is with jalapeno poppers, well, with jalapenos in general,
Mm.
they're either they're either a little bit spicy or they're like flaming spicy.
Uh-huh.
I don't mind the just a little bit spicy, especially when like with the poppers.
Hmm.
I think that way you can just really enjoy them, and a lot of them.
Right, and you can use the cream cheese to kind of cool down
Yes, yeah. Oh,
that
that's the other thing. It's got the mushroom thing is crab and cream cheese and jalapeno. So the whole thing is just like this lovely little cup of joy.
it sounds awesome. Okay, Golden Rule Services wants you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find my books at justkisstheguy.com. Find all our links at allmylinks.com/Chubs Gone Wild. And give us a call at
408 Chubs.
yes. And we would love to have some holiday calls, by the way. That would be fun. Very, very fun. Very fun. And don't forget, you still have three days. Well, by the time I put this up, you'll have maybe 2 days, one day, to get
Yeah, afternoon.
yeah, about 10 minutes to get your any last entries to us at chubsgonewild@gmail.com to be entered into the year-end contest. And don't forget, if you want to send us anything for what's in your lunchbox, just send us an email with your photos at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. And you can also ask us Hey Chubs questions at the same address. All right. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.